Alright, so how or what is the best way to build muscle fast? To start off, I just feel like it's necessary, or at least good, for me to point out that I do have a bachelor's degree in exercise science, in case you were wondering why you should listen to me. Also, as a disclaimer, I just want to say that I'm not selling anything, so I will actually write up a workout plan and post it in the description of this video, in case you want to have a look at what I think is the optimal workout routine. And that is also the workout routine that I've been following now for the last couple of years. Alright, so now how does one build muscle as fast as possible? Well, the first and kind of boring key is consistency, and it really cannot be understated how important it is to be consistent. Building muscle is a slow process and it takes time, and if you think about it, you're actually trying to generate tissue of muscle in your body. Which means that time is your best friend, and you won't see any results after just one day or even 1 week, and even after a month you likely won't see much change. But after 2 months you might actually be able to notice some change, but really you need to look at this long term, which means at least a year depending on your goal. The changes from day to day are so small that they're unnoticeable, but from month to month or year to year, that's where you'll see the difference. So whatever meal plan or workout plan you choose, make sure it's something that you can stick to, because consistency is the most important thing. The second most important thing is what or how you eat. If you've been working out for a while and you're not gaining weight, it means you're not eating enough. Really, it's just simple physics, and the way that I like to explain this is by using a balloon as an example. So if you imagine that there's a balloon filled with air, and this balloon has a tiny hole in it so that air keeps seeping out, then if you put in more air than what is seeping out, then the balloon will get bigger. And if you put in less air than what is seeping out, then the balloon will get smaller. And this is basically your body. So if you consume more energy than you put in, then you'll get smaller. And if you consume less energy than you put in, then you'll get bigger. So that means that if you're not getting bigger and you're working out, then you're just simply not eating enough. Now, how much weight should you gain every month? Well, this kind of depends on where you're at in your training. If you're really new to training, then you're probably going to be able to gain weight faster, because you just have less muscle to start with. But the more muscle you have, the slower the weight gain is going to be, or the muscle gain is going to be. So the way that I would suggest it is go for about 1 kilo or 2 pounds per month. This way you're making sure that you're not gaining unnecessary extra amount of fat. But also I just want to say you will be gaining some fat if you're trying to get big fast. It's just what's going to happen. And of course, if you want to get bigger faster, then you could just eat more and gain weight a little bit faster. But you'll also be gaining more fat. And there was actually a study that was done where they kind of showed that eating too much above your caloric needs will lead to a lot more fat gain, but not that much more muscle gain compared to just eating slightly above your needs. So that's why I kind of suggest aiming for 1 kilo or 2 pounds per month. Now the third, and to some degree least important, is your workout routine. What I mean is that it pretty much doesn't matter what workout routine you pick, because most of your results will come from the eating and being consistent with some sort of workout routine. Because most decent workout routines will make sure that you hit every muscle group at least once, maybe twice a week. And that's really all there is to it. It's not very hard. If you want a muscle to grow, then you train that muscle. There's something that I'd like to call exercise irrelevancy, which means that as long as you work the muscle that you want to work, then the exercise that you choose is not super important. What is more important is how you work that muscle. Basically, the only two factors impacting muscle growth will be time under tension. So how much time is the muscle actually being flexed during the exercise? And the second being progression. So are you progressing in your training in some way? And when it comes to progression, there's basically 3 ways to progress your training. The first way is to increase the weight that you're using. The second way is to increase the reps, but keeps the weight the same. And the third is to increase the sets and keep the reps and the weight the same. So just make sure that you're working the muscle that you actually want to work when you're training. And then the way that we keep building our muscle is by either increasing the weight or increasing the total reps performed. And this is where the fourth advice comes in handy, which is to keep track of your workouts somehow. And what you want to keep track of is the weight that you used last time, the amount of reps that you did, and the sets that you did. And this is so that next workout you can look back and, for instance, say that you did 3 sets and 10 reps at 20 kilos. So that next workout you can kind of feel how you're feeling, and maybe if you're feeling better, then you could try doing 4 sets and 10 reps at 20 kilos. Or you could do 3 sets and 12 reps at 20 kilos. Or you could do 3 sets and 8 reps at 25 kilos. Or of course you can just do the same as you did last workout if you're not feeling ready to increase. How you keep track of your workouts is not super important. Personally, I've built an app for this that tracks all of this for me, so that I can go back and see what I did last workout. And also it tracks some other relevant statistics, such as maxes. So for every exercise that I've done, I can look up the max that I have for whatever weight or rep that I've done. And it's not quite finished yet, but when it's finished, I'll release it and post a link to it in the description of this video, in case you want to have a look. Like I said, it's not really important how you keep track of your workouts. It's just important that you do keep track somehow. And I would suggest starting out by just writing it down in a book of some sort. And if you feel like you can remember it, then try that. But I would suggest writing it down because it is quite hard to remember all that data. And remember that progress really is king when it comes to building muscle. Alright, so a short summary of my advice. First, stick with it. You're most likely doing close to the right thing at least. And consistency really is the most important thing. Second, eat more. If you're not gaining weight, then you need to eat more. Third, aim for 1 kilo or 2 pounds of weight gain per month in order to minimize unnecessary fat gain. Fourth, exercise choice is pretty much irrelevant. As long as you pick an exercise that works the muscle that you want to work, then you're good. And again, my optimal workout plan is in the description of this video. And the fifth and final advice is progress is king. Make sure that you track your workouts and that you continue to make progress in your training. Alright, that's my advice. Please don't hesitate to ask me any questions about this video in the comment section. I hope you got something out of this video, and that's it for this one.